workshop. I know you're tired because you've been coming to many meetings and many PowerPoints and many workshops, so I'll try to keep it as interactive as possible. Please feel free, like while I'm presenting and tell you about my story, to ask questions, like ask how it relates to you, ask more about my projects, so please feel free to raise your hand and ask. I really want participation to make this a little bit more interactive. There is a little activity, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm gonna start. Did everyone attend to the keynote panel yesterday in the auditorium? Raise your hand if you did. Yeah. Okay. To the keynote panel yesterday in the auditorium, where it was me, Ryan, and Marilla. So you know a little bit about who I am. So first off, we're gonna start. I have two sets of paper, green over here and blue over here. So you come and grab one in a second, and if you choose the green one, you need to write a big problem a big problem you have with the world. So some examples are like eradicate poverty or more clean water for the world, and you can be very general with it. And then if you pick a blue little paper, you can choose a small color. So a small problem. So you can pick like, don't use plastic in my life, or actually that's a pretty big one. So no, not buying water bottles anymore, or something smaller. So pick one, and then go back to your seats, write something, and then bring it back. So you have 1 minute to complete it and bring it back over here.
Vera, really?
Yeah, just put it. Thank you. No. You could if you want, but do you want one? Wherever you want. It can be in like a big problem in the school, a big problem in your school, a big problem in your country, or a big problem in the world that you're really passionate about. So raise your hand if you're still working on it. Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, one more. Cool. Thank you. So we're going to come back to these at the end of my presentation. So start thinking about these problems. I know you've been listening to many speakers, you've been listening to many school groups talking about this. So I know you have many solutions for this. We're going to talk about them later. First, a little bit of background of my story. I've lived in Mexico my entire life, except for the past 2 years. And I've lived in Tampico, Guadalajara, Torreón, and here in Monterrey. So in each of these schools, I've been involved in some sort of like student activities, such as the green teams mainly, or a student council, or something like that. So that's a little bit of background about me in high school. So I'm going to talk about a couple of projects I did when I was in high school, especially here in ASFM. And please feel free, if you have something similar going on in your school, please feel free to share your story. And if you want me to go deeper in one of these projects, tell me so I can give you information so you can implement it in your own high school. This is the first one. This is here in Monterrey, and it's called the Organic Garden. So we have a space from the green team. We had a space to plant. So some of the things, this is basically how it looks. We have several plants. We got together on Saturday mornings, and we took care of it. We made a little wall to surround it, to take care of it. We watered it. We made sure everything was okay, and we took the weeds out of it. So this is basically what we did. And then the things that people were able to consume, so such as rosemary, which in Spanish is romero, we grabbed that and we put it in little packages in the teachers' lounge for teachers to take, and along with a jar accepting donations. So this is one idea we had in the green team. And then this is another picture. In order to use glass and recyclable materials, we built a little wall around the flowers with all glass bottles. And then this is the second project. We did this here. Obviously, Eagles in ASFM. We made a plastic cap bottle fundraiser, or we were looking for them. So we placed large jars in each hallway, and for people to deposit their plastic caps. So it was very hard because, people of course brought caps in, but not as many as we wanted to at first, so we needed to insist. We posted things on Facebook, we posted things on Instagram, so we were all around trying to get more, and then we even started to get them from trash cans. So if we went to a soccer game and everyone had their Powerades out, we told them, hey, give them to us here. So then we started the plastic cup mural to raise awareness on plastic consumption here in ASFM. And this is part of the process, and the next picture is when it's finished. So I think this is a relatively easy idea for all of you guys to start at your schools. It looks really pretty, and when we brought it out, when it was once finished, everyone liked it, and I feel like it was a successful project. Other things I've been involved in high school are, I feel like some of you have been, in Model United Nations simulation and organizing it. So in those types of activity, what you learn, aside from about learning from the world and global issues, you also learn how to organize and how to network and how to work as a team. So I also invite you to join those types of clubs if you have them at your school. And also community service. I'm 100% sure all of you guys have done something, orphanage visits or sister school visits and teaching English. Raise your hand if you've done any of these. I'm hoping everyone, but okay, that's good. So you also need to get involved in those, because you learn, honestly, people say it's all about giving, but I feel like you earn more than what you give most times. So I really like doing those sorts of things. And then I come to gin. So in my senior year of high school, it was my first year participating in gin. And our project was called Eco Twist. I was the only senior. My teammates were the ones who are organizing the conference right now. The CEO, Carlos, and Roberto, and all of them were in my team. So the next slide is a small video talking about my project, which is like the ones you guys presented in your film fest this past couple of days. So, yes?
I saw your presentation in Costa Rica.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. You can tell, well, after the video.
All right.
Let me check. I didn't start.
We live in a world where we use more than we have and act without thinking, but we have only one planet. We run out of non-renewable resources. Wait, we have an idea. Let's live a sustainable lifestyle. We could ride a bike, recycle all sorts of materials, plant trees, and have an environmentally friendly house. That is where EcoTwist comes in. Houses emit CO2 gases and waste lots of unused water. The idea is to give a care package to families in order to improve their homes by changing their light bulbs to LED, implementing insulating blinds, managing their recycling, and changing their shower heads to save water. First, we will install, then wait, and later we will make sure it works fine. Currently, the project happens in Monterrey, Mexico, but we will make it grow. The benefits are awareness, reduced spending, efficient use of sources, sustainability, and recycling. There is not much time left. We need to set goals and get moving. That is what humans do best, work together.
Okay, so that was basically, like, in simplified what our project was about, and something that I'm doing right now and I plan to do in the future directly relates to this. So, guys, if you're very passionate about your projects here that you're presenting in GIN, don't be afraid to carry them on, because I'm sure they'll be successful. Maybe not in the exact same form and not with the same name, but there's always something to do related to it if you're very passionate about your topic. So these are a couple of pictures of our project that we presented in Costa Rica. We worked with these 3 families and we gave them the care package, and we requested for them to give us in return recycling from their houses and from their communities, as well as the page that stated what was theirs monthly, how much money they spent monthly in water, in gas, and in electricity. So this is us in Costa Rica presenting the project, as she attended as well. And then I graduated and I moved to Boston to study college. So I was very happy to start my career in architecture, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this relates. So first I want to tell you, is anyone a senior or a junior here? Yeah? Okay, for you to start thinking a little bit about college. So I moved into this, I didn't move it there, but most of my classes are in studio. So this is like the studio culture. There's a lot of networking, a lot of talking. Everyone wants to share their projects. And there's a lot of innovation and design happening, which I could directly relate to the things I did in high school. And even though my school, Northeastern, doesn't have the major called Sustainable Architecture, it's a school that's focused and that's very interested in this, and it's something I would like to go into the future. So it's about presenting projects and working on big models or small. And then these are a couple of projects I have finished in the past couple of semesters. This is only my 2nd year in college. And then we need to present it in front of an audience. And these are the professors that grade you. So what I'm trying to say basically is that all the skills you're practicing here in GIN and in other things you're doing in your high school will all be applied later on in college, and of course later on in life, but I don't have that experience yet, because you all need proficiency speaking, you need to be good at talking with the public, you need to be good in transmitting your ideas and working in a team. And I consider that being the most important. Because sometimes, I know everyone here is a leader because you're here, and sometimes it's hard to work in a team because you don't like how other kids are working with you and you don't like what they're doing, and it's very hard. But if you do it and practice it enough, you'll be better at it and learn ways to go around it. I also worked in techo over the summer. So this was a way of applying what I've learned in architecture and what I've learned before in high school in techo. So it's the construction of houses you've already heard about in some presentations, and work with the community close to Monterrey. And this is how the construction works. So first we have, this is the house we worked with. It was in a terrible condition. They had no sort of insulation, they had leaks everywhere, they only had 1 bed for a family of 5 people. So they lived in this terrible condition, so we work with the family, we build a wood house, and then we give it to them. So that's basically how the project works. And then after Techo last summer, I had an internship in Habitat for Humanity. Has anyone heard of Habitat for Humanity here? Yeah, a couple of hands going up. And I mentioned this in my keynote yesterday, but I was very surprised that the work I was doing and the people from Habitat were telling me to do was very similar to my gin project in EcoTwist. So when I was doing the project in EcoTwist, I was like, oh, this is cool. I mean, we are changing these couple of families, but I didn't know that a big company was doing pretty much the exact same thing very close to us. So this might happen to you guys, like if you have your plastic bottle campaign and then later on in life you worked in something like that and you're like, wait, my idea wasn't that bad. My idea was actually being implemented everywhere. So I thought that was a really nice experience for me. And here's a little bit of what I did in the internship. So we visited houses here in San Pedro in Monterrey in this sort of condition, and it was a neighborhood we were working in. So we went in and we measured everything. So with a measuring tape, we took the measurements of every wall and every bathroom and every size, and we had to draw them. So here I'm using my architecture skills I had learned in the past years. And then they told me to draw the plans in AutoCAD, so for them to have like an official view of what the house looks like, and then we could implement new things for it. So it was like personalized, case-to-case scenario with the houses. So if some houses needed one more room or they needed to finish a ceiling they were working in, so we helped them in a personalized manner, which was basically what we were doing in EcoTwist. So I was really excited. It was like a continuity of that. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about the future. I mean, I'm not a professional guest speaker. I just wanted to let you guys know that what you are doing right now will and can have something to do with your future when you're in college or afterwards. So my plans for the future, I hope they come true, is to be LEED certified, which is like it's your sustainable building master. So you can approve buildings for them to be green and go into sustainable architecture. Okay, so now that's my story, and now we're getting a little bit into what you guys should do. I have 3 tips I've learned in the past that I feel that will be very helpful for you. The first one is moral courage. It's not really talked about, and it's not closely related to being green and ecology, but it can be. So when you guys go into big businesses, go work in an NGO, or whatever you guys are going to do in the future, please keep in mind these 2 words, moral courage, because sometimes it's very easy to go with the pack and go where everyone is going, so you need to be the ones to stand up and saying, this is not right, this is not how it should be. And I'm taking currently a class called Business for Global Good, and the professor really emphasizes these 2 words because it's easy to say, oh, all I want is money, all I'm interested in is making more profit, which that's not the case. There are many people like in Wall Street that have already tons and like millions and millions of dollars, and they don't think about the people that work for them, and I consider that being very important. So paying the employees a living wage, not a minimum wage, and caring about the community itself. So these are very powerful. Even if you guys don't do something, even if you guys don't turn into Gandhi or Nelson Mandela, you guys are going to go in business and you're going to work, so keep these 2 words in mind. The second one is inspire and be inspired. And I know all of you are doing it in this conference. Make sure to spread the word. Don't be quiet about your project. Tell your friends, even if it might be embarrassing sometimes, but let everyone know what you guys are doing here. And also let yourself be inspired. Listen to other speakers. I'm sure you were very inspired by Water is Life and that presentation and by everything else you've been hearing here. Let yourself be inspired. And the third one is network. You heard this word probably a million times in the conference, but I'm sure of it. Right now the activity we're going to work in is going to be about networking. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in the activity. My email is projected right now. If you guys have trouble in the future getting across with your gym project or applying to college or anything along those lines, please feel free to email me. So that's it. Now we're gonna go with the activity, sorry. I'm gonna shuffle these, and I want you guys to rearrange, because I know in the tables, because I know you're sitting with your friends and with the people you're from, so I'll give you a minute to switch seats and be with people you haven't been with. Come on guys, I want energy. Okay, so I'm gonna pass around a bunch of cards, and you guys need to talk about these problems. If yours is there, just tell your team like, oh, I put this in, and think about solutions. So remember, we have big problems, and we also have small problems. I'm a strong believer that every kind of problem needs a solution, and one is not more important than another, even though the scale is very different. So brainstorm ideas about these, and then you pick your favorite one, or the one your team is the most passionate about, and you'll come up and present some of the solutions you have. Traffic like the buses or something. Insecurity. I like to do you choose.
Eu vou aprontar. Just choose a problem and try to find a solution for it.
Have you chosen one? Okay, good. Have you chosen one already? Yeah? Have you chosen one already? No, government. You already have one? Yeah. Discuss. What are you going to do? Yeah, please. I mean, one of you need to come up with the card you chose and present some solutions. Okay, good. So guys, by now you should have chosen already the problem you're gonna pay attention, please. Everyone? Excuse me. Here. So by now you should have already chosen your problem you're gonna target. Raise your hand if you have chosen a blue card. Your team has, okay. So one, and then the rest of you are green. So think of 3 or 4 solutions and choose a team member to come present it. We're going to start presenting in 3 minutes.
Las emisiones, el agua, water treatment.
Okay. Then make everyone stop
Maru, te grabaron. Te grabó. Y empezó a roncar.
Anótale ahí entonces.
No, o sea que los políticos mexicanos se roban el dinero de la gente y hacen tonterías. Que vayan y arresten. Que vayan y arresten porque los policías también están una red de corrupción.
Okay, guys, so your attention, please. Over here. Have you all chosen someone to speak in front of the class?
Yes.
Yeah? Kind of. So raise your hand if you're going to present.
Raise your hand.
Okay, from it? Okay, perfect. So all of you come on up with your card. No, if you don't want to raise your hand. You go.
Puedes poner algo también del suelo, pero bueno.
What are you trying to do? Wait, what are you trying to do? It's good. Yeah.
Okay, so please a round of applause for your presenters. That was not energetic enough. I wanted them to listen to us in the next room. So everyone again. Okay, that was a lot better. So you're gonna introduce yourself, where you're from, just your name and where you're from. I don't want like a big introduction. And then state your problem. Say if it's a green or blue card, and talk about the solutions you talked about.
So I'm Pedro, I'm from Colombia, and we chose a green card. The problem is pollution, and so our 4 possible solutions would be to create laws and regulations for CO2 emissions, to reduce them. Also to create water treatments in all industries so they don't release the harmful chemicals to the environment. Campaigns to pick up trash in some dirty areas that really need that. and recycle and reuse the products to reduce the waste and create a green culture.
That's really good. Thank you. Up next.
Sebastian Garza, I'm from Torrencubila. We chose the green card, and it talks about corruption in the Mexican, mainly in the Mexican government. So we came up as a solution that the community should be the voice of the place we're at. So like we as citizens should try to solve it. It's a super hard problem, and sticking to there is the key to success for government.
Also, guys, if you have an extra solution to propose to these guys in the front, please feel free to raise your hand.
Okay. Hi, my name is Daniel Franco, and I'm from Peru. I chose a blue, I mean green card, and it's global warming, and global warming has a lot of solutions. Like, well, I think it's like a process. Like, first, there should be a lot of advertising to raise awareness to people who aren't educated. Then I think everyone, like every government in the world, has to get together and put in laws for people to start polluting less and like maybe use their car less, or for factories to try to produce in a more clean way. There should be campaigns for people to start recycling more. Maybe to put subsidies. Do you know what subsidies are? Like when the government gives money for something to be produced. Like they should put subsidies for like renewable energy sources so that they're produced on a mass scale. And I think that would help to reduce global warming. And yeah, like everyone has to work together when it's done. It's impossible.
Okay, up next.
Our green topic was deforestation, and we said that we should promote recycled paper use, prevent man-made forest fire, and keep forests healthy, promote alternative building supplies rather than wood, and then educate about deforestation in schools.
Okay, my name is Larissa Garza, and our topic was biodiversity. And we said that first we must raise like awareness. We also said that we must like create national parks to protect like areas. We also said that we must do like scientific work with the science to help us with our advantage. And finally, we said that we would create
No, you explain it.
Yeah. Okay. We also said that we should create like native gardens, and this way we'll have more like safe zones.
Okay. So anyone has a comment or a suggestion for one of the proposals? If not, just a round of applause for everyone. Okay, so we have a couple minutes left. I want to quiz you real quick on the presentation. So I remember in the slides I showed you, there were 3 tips for you guys. Do you remember them? And if so,
Moral courage.
moral courage was the first one. What was the second one?
Wait, no. I know this.
I'm not telling you.
Wait, give me 5 seconds.
Okay.
I forgot.
Okay, over here. Perfect. And
What did you say?
inspire and be inspired.
Alright.
Good try though. And the last one over here.
Network.
Sorry?
That's what
Midnight.
I had.
Okay.
Had.
So I want you guys to take these 3 tips and apply them in your school, in your lives, not only in gym. I don't want all of this to stay in gym or in your schools. I want you to tell your friends outside from school, because that really is what networking is all about. And you have the privilege to come here to this conference and learn so many things in the past couple of days, and I want you to take it back, not only to your schools, but to your families, friends, and community. So that was it for my presentation, and I just wanted, since we have a couple of minutes left, I wanted to ask you what you thought of the gym conference here. If you want to, I want pretty much everyone in the last minutes we have to share something you really liked or something you would like to change. It can be about the conference itself, or it can also be about a speaker you liked. So we're going to start over here. Does someone want to share something you liked or would like to change for the conference?
Well, I really liked how we all divided and went into our groups to talk about like the gym conferences.
Does someone else want to share something?
I like the water is life speaker because he really conveyed the idea well of how important was water.
I really like the global villages because we got to meet lots of people like on a closer level.
Okay.
I like the energizer because it was fun.
Yeah. Who thought the Energizer was fun? I did. Yeah. Okay. Moving on to the next table. Yeah.
Well, I like the global village because you interact with people.
Yeah. Over here.
I like this is my first gym conference. I just like the fact that you learn so much in such a short time about a lot of different topics.
I really like the Energizer.
Yeah. The Energizer is a popular choice. Over here.
I like the keynote speakers.
Okay. Which one was your favorite? Sorry?
The water is like.
Water is life. I like that one a lot too. Over here.
I like that it was organized very well, like everything with time and everything was quite well organized.
I agree. Over there.
I like the speakers that they were all related to the topics.
That's good. Here. Oh, okay. Over there. Sorry.
I like everything.
Everything. Pick one thing though. Keynote speakers. The keynote speakers.
I like learning about different topics.
Can you mention one you were very interested in?
The one of the soap one that you can create like used oil and turn it into something else.
The whole experience, learning about issues all around the world.
Okay.
I really like the trip to the Huasteca since we got to see the news.
Yeah. Over here?
I don't know.
Sorry?
I'm a tech.
I know. Still, what did you like about that?
I like being a techie because you're not just in one place, you're like moving all around.
Yeah. Over here?
I like the global villages.
Mm-hmm.
I like the water is life presentation.
Okay.
I like the presentation.
Ah, thank you. And over here? Okay. Speak up, guys, just to listen to me.
I like to hear about all the projects.
Okay.
I really like that we got the chance to present to elementary because in the last gym conference we didn't do that, so I thought that was a cool idea.
Yeah, I thought that was a good idea too. Over here? Meeting new people. Back there?
We were interested in ideas and tackle many big problems.
Over here?
I liked it very much, very well organized, and even she's my daughter.
These are my parents, by the way.
I discovered and realized several things I didn't know about you, and I like it very much.
Over here?
Well, I like how it's been organized and to hear like every group has a different idea, all the ideas.
And over here?
As a teacher, I love seeing the students. You guys get so much out of this, and you're really applying real life skills that you will need in college and things like that. And it's really inspiring. I'm hoping to really spread it across our entire school. It's really, right now it's a small community that's really doing these gym projects, but hoping to get everybody involved because it's so valuable. I think it's an amazing conference.
Yeah. I agree with all of you guys. I really enjoyed it. I've been to only one before. I know that many of you have been to several. So I was really happy to work with everyone here and to see that everyone, even though you're very young and you're in middle or high school, you have great ideas. So a final tip before we leave, never let anyone tell you that you can't do something because you're young. Because in the end, you guys are the ones who have the most creative minds and the ones who can do everything you want. So if you want to go talk to a government official, feel free to do so. They need to listen to you. If you need help with something you can't do, there's always your advisors and your parents who are there to help you. So never be afraid of a big idea, no matter if they're green or blue, if they're big or small. You can always work on them and eventually make a real difference. I want you all of you guys to go back to your houses and back to your countries and really spread this idea. So that was it for today.